I think what would have been really helpful to me at the time would have been some guidance on how to manage my own personal resilience. And I just wonder what your top recommendations would be from your own experiences on how to manage and develop personal resilience. Andrea, perhaps have you got some thoughts you would share with us on that?
Of course, yes. I think the first thing that I've learned about sort of how to manage resilience is around having a really good sense of self. So self-awareness is key. It's about recognizing the triggers, the things that impact the behavior that you then start to portray. So I think the parents in the virtual room probably have felt the challenges around homeschooling suddenly being put upon us over recent weeks. And certainly for me, what that then meant was that I was trying to balance the right thing for my child with the right thing for the business as well. And making that decision is quite a challenge to not feel guilty on either side. And the outcome of that could be that I sort of start to show the worst side of me, which is around being a little bit short-tempered with my daughter when she can't do her maths or something like that, and trying to cut short meetings to get back to my daughter. So those choices had an impact on the behaviours that I was portraying. And certainly for me, when I start to feel those pressures building up and start feeling that I'm feeling guilty or having to make decisions like that, about taking time out to think about it, to think what it is that has caused that and how I can control that. So when it starts to build up, when things start to feel a little bit too much, that's when I'll take time out. And I wouldn't say I'm a runner in terms of being speedy at all, but certainly I do run. I'm part of a running club, and that is my release. That's the time when I can get headspace specifically for myself to really take me away from the day-to-day and give me that release and give me that freedom to sort of refocus and get back on track. And certainly I find that is a massive help to me. In addition to that, I think what is also very difficult, and certainly in the situation we're in now, is that there's so much unknown out there. There's a lot of factors, there's a lot of information being thrown around, but it's all very subject to how things change over time. So there's another piece that I've learned again over time, which is about recognizing what's in my control now and focusing on working on that area and trying not to worry about things that may or may not happen in the future, because actually if you do that, you're just adding additional complexity and additional worry, and it's not something that you can actually do anything with at this moment in time. And then finally, a really key learning for me, because I am quite a perfectionist and I like to do my best at everything that I do, that adds additional pressure to myself. So sometimes there's been situations where I have an expectation about what somebody else is asking for from me or what I need to deliver, which can add pressure and start to make me feel less in control. And the key to that for me was around speaking to the person who I'm working with, or speaking to the person who's asked me to complete a particular task, and clarify for myself what the expectation is. So it really sets the scene and I understand fully what the expectation is and don't have to do something above and beyond that may or may not be required. So seeking clarity would be the final piece. How about you, Laura? I'm sure you've got lots of examples as well.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes, I mean, I think my two top tips are thinking time and sleep. I think personally, you know, we're always so busy running from one thing to the other. I would really encourage you to just take that thinking time. I think at the moment we are gifted with no commutes, so actually utilizing that time for thinking time, ideally if it combines it with exercise, as Andrea says, going for a run, going for a walk, because it allows you to do that processing. Callum mentioned it, you know, that part of going through the experiences, processing what am I going through, what are the things I can control, what are the things I can't, and what does it mean for me in this time. So I think it really taking time out to get that thinking time. And then really sleep, you know, it's making sure you give your body the sleep that it needs to process things and to you know, positively react to stress. I'm always surprised at how something can seem quite serious and very stressful in the evening, and then in the morning after a good night's sleep it just it seems like not a big deal, and I can face this challenge. So, you know, make sure you look after yourself from a sleep perspective, definitely. I suppose, so that's on managing front. I think in terms of developing resilience, I go back to my point before around getting experiences. If you can get experiences, that will help you face challenges in the future. So, you know, maybe it's going for that new role, maybe it's taking a stretch project out there, that it really put yourself into that situation that you can face the challenge, face the change, and manage through it, so that next time it's not so hard if you're not in control of that change. That's my tips.
That's great. Thanks, both of you.